You want to be successful, but where do you start? There is so much information out there, but literally most of the information is going to drive you in one direction. Now, today I wanted to talk about Robert Kiyosaki's CASHFLOW Quadrant, which is the second book that he wrote. Actually, the third, that's another story entirely. And this book is really brilliant. So in the first book, he talks about the fact that the rich think differently to everybody else. But in this book, he talks about why. He talks about the 4 different kinds of people that there are. He talks about the fact that you have employees who have been taught the old system of going to work for somebody else, and that being the way you can earn money and become wealthy. Then he talks about the small business owner and how some people have a certain kind of mentality that allows them to start a business, but that they get a little bit stuck in that one. Then he talks about the big business owner, the B, and that big business owner has a different mentality and way of doing things, and that if you can shift your thinking, you can become the B and achieve different results. And the I, who is an investor, the person who puts the money up for that big business, or who puts some money into perhaps a small business, because also small businesses can have investors. And so he talks about those 4 different types of people and how there's no right or wrong answer, but if you want to get ahead, that each has their pros and cons. He talks about how you can shift from one to the other, and that's a very important thing, because let's say that you are an employee. There's only so much that you're going to be able to do. There's a lot of societal conditioning to get you to be an E and to believe that E is the way forward, even though generally speaking it's not really. So how do you become an S? How do you take your S and turn it into a B? A lot of people don't know, and this book describes how to do that. And he talks about the difference between the left side and the right side. So you have the E and the S on one side. And again, it's a kind of mentality, it's a different kind of life that you lead when you live on that side, as opposed to the B and the I. And you can be multiple at the same time. So Robert Kiyosaki describes the interrelationship, that there's no right or wrong between any of them, but it's a way of describing how you can transport yourself from one to the other. Because it's one thing to know that you want to be successful, but you need to know that there are other ways. It's one thing to know that a business can be successful as a small business, but it's another to know that you can have more success when you create the bigger business, and how that works and why that works. And it's another thing to know that as an investor, you can speed up your ability to be able to escape the E if you want to, and how to then go into the S and turn that S into a B, or the shortcut that he describes as well, how to go from I to then jumping straight to B, or being able to go to B immediately. So this is an absolutely amazing book that I highly recommend. If you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, then definitely continue with the CASHFLOW Quadrant and start seeing how you can implement more of what you learned in Rich Dad Poor Dad, and the differences between the mentalities and how to take that next step. That is the book for you. So thank you so much for joining for this book review. I'm going to give the CASHFLOW Quadrant a 4 out of 5. It's a very, very thick, big book, but it is definitely going to get you moving forward further on that journey to your financial freedom. If you'd like to also be a part of a club where people are working together to achieve this and actually implementing the learnings from all of the books that I've been reading, then you are most welcome to join. Get in touch, let us know, leave a comment, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. And I'm looking forward to seeing you for the next book review, and also to your messages. Get in touch and let me know what other kinds of topics and content I can give to give you the ability to achieve your financial goals and dreams.